Harper have a perfect relationship.
She is my person, and I really want everyone to know that. I want to marry her.
Okay, we're back because everyone knows about the husband-wife team at Pfizer, but no one's talking about the ex-wife team at Moderna. This film is about Phyllis, an epidemiologist at the top of her field who's brought on board to help find a vaccine for a deadly virus, only to find that her lab partner is her ex-wife, Daphne. The two now have to put aside the tensions lingering from their messy divorce 7 years ago so they can focus on what really matters, which is finding a vaccine in time for Christmas. Of course, as they get closer to the vax and more in the holiday spirit, the tensions fall away and they begin to really enjoy each other's company again. Will Phyllis and Daphne get back together? And more importantly, will they pull off a vaccine in time for Christmas?
I propose a sequel to Juno, in which Juno, played by Elliot Page, comes out as trans-masked and is invited back to his high school to address a cyberbullying incident, a homophobic cyberbullying incident, only to find out that the bully is in fact the child that he gave birth to all those many years ago in the first film. And they meet and they bond, and now actually that child has two uncles, Juno and Polly Bleecker, and they celebrate Christmas that year together and all the years to come.
We open on Christmas morning. Santa's just returned from schlepping across the entire world delivering presents. She is exhausted. But she makes sure the reindeers have some carrots to eat before sneaking back into bed with Mrs. Claus. Only, when our St. Nick steps into the candy cane themed bedroom, there's just a note. It's not working out. Heading home. But the North Pole is the only home Santa's ever known.
A movie about two gay men who date each other because they look exactly the same. And they switch places to trick estranged people in their lives. I call it Parent Trap.
Santa's blocked on Insta, but they're still friends on CoStar. And Ms. Claus just linked up with an Aquarius sun. Ready the reindeer. Santa's gotta make a quick pit stop. What ensues is a juxtaposition between the cheer and magic we usually see in holiday movies with the raw hurt and mess that a lesbian breakup will never fail to bring. Santa's trapped with the two of them. 3 lesbians, 1 sleigh, and 12 hours to deliver all the presents and figure out this love triangle.
It's an art house film that takes place over Zoom, and it revolves around Molly and her non-binary partner Ryan. While Molly has been openly gay since high school, she's only ever brought home cis women, and while Molly's family is aware of Ryan's identity, they still can't seem to adjust to those pronouns. You get to watch as Molly's mom gets drunk and asks Ryan personal questions in front of everyone, and gives unsolicited confessionals such as, well, I mean, how would you know? Because between you and me, I pegged my husband. So what does that make him?
Okay, so this one's a little gritty. It's about 2 women who are trying to expose an underground dogfighting ring, so they go undercover. Throughout the process, though, one of them gets in too deep and starts to like the fights, so the other one has to pull her out. And during that time, they fall in love. And they're trying to take down the ringleader, who, let's just say he likes the color red and has a long white beard. But while they're trying to take him down, they realize that he's been undercover for years. And he's Santa.
Her father in particular really struggles with it and is very hard on himself every time he misgenders them, and screams a loud fuck that reverberates throughout the Zoom call when Molly and Ryan are about to log off, because Molly simply can't with her family's disregard for Ryan's identity. One of the family members sneaks off and goes online on Etsy and buys them matching hers and theirs bathrobes from a shop called Ace Loves Cake, no spaces. They get the email notification in the middle of a Zoom call, and this, of course, in true rom-com fashion, resolves everything.
This next film is about a young animator who's supposed to travel to LA for December. She even bleaches her hair so that she'll fit in better over there. But when her trip gets canceled because of a virus, she's left alone for the holidays with 1 week to find a girlfriend in time for Christmas. Because the virus has also reached New York, where she lives, she has to find creative ways to safely date. And that's just my story, but it's also, in a way, all of our story, and I'd like to see it represented on screen.
It's around the holiday season. This lesbian goes on a first date with this trans guy. They're hitting it off, but then as it gets closer to Christmas, the trans guy starts like being kind of sketchy and like being less responsive. Grace doesn't really know why, and she's like, oh god, is this person just ghosting me?
It's basically like the events of last Christmas, but queer, as George Michael would have intended. I keep my distance, but you still catch my eye.
Turns out the trans guy is Santa and gets really busy around the holiday season, but they have this like really intimate moment where Grace is like, look, I want to be a part of your life, and Santa's like, all right, but you can't tell anyone. Like, this is the best kept secret in all of culture that Santa is trans.
So our leading dyke lives in Brooklyn and is trying to find the perfect date, namely a well-to-do date to have for Christmas. So every Saturday throughout the fall, they go on a different first date. And as part of the ritual, they buy a flower from the humble pushcart florist in Grand Army Plaza. But now it's the last Saturday before Christmas, and they have run out of dykes. None of them have been rich enough for our dyke's taste. And they come all despondent to the florist.
Ho Ho Ho, I Shit the Bed is about a non-binary bottom named Avery who suffers from IBS and hasn't really been able to realize their fullest sexual potential until one Christmas Eve when Santa comes down the chimney hungry for something other than cookies and milk.
But lo and behold, the florist is actually the sole heir to the fortune from the family farm that donates the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree. Serendipity! So our two dykes head into Rockefeller Center and share a romantic first kiss under the beautiful scrappy boughs. And as they look up in the tree, they can see the saw-whet owl. So cute, they decide to take it home and adopt it and raise it as part of their rich Christmas tree farm lesbian life.
This next film is like Final Destination.